From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussion.
Now the news in detail. Residents of Port Harcourt have rescued 12-year-old daughter of one comforted him from the hands of a suspected child trafficker around Evergreen Junction, DRA Phase 3, Port Harcourt on Monday, 4th November 2024, after the suspect had acquired the Inquiring from the child if she was a virgin before adopting her, Ms. Etim made the disclosure in an interview with journalists on Tuesday in Port Harcourt. The Public Relations Officer of River State Police Command, Grace Iringekoko, who is also a Superintendent of Police, SP, confirmed the incident that the victim is in a hospital while the suspect is being detained at Abacha Police Division on Abacha Road, GRA Phase 2, Port Harcourt. Two-story building under construction collapsed in Igbelu Mbaraja area of Obogoro community in the Obiakpo local government area of River State, killing one person and leaving others injured. Eyewitness said the building gave way while construction workers were on the second floor, tragically claiming the life of a young man who was identified simply as Udeme from the Akwa Ibom state, while another worker narrowly escaped death but sustained serious injuries. In response to the incident, River State Commissioner of Physical Planning and Urban Development, Evans BP, had visited the site and ordered that the building be sealed and also declared the developer wanted.
My name is Evans Bapakaye BP. I'm the Commissioner of Physical Planning and Urban Development. We don't have a government approval. This is the file. I went through the file, there was no approval to that effect. Their foundation must be very, very standard to accommodate the building. And if you look at the rod, I will use 12 mm rod for two-story building. No 16 mm, no 20 mm. I mean, it's so appalling. It's something, I would say the owner used it to set it as a death trap. He knows that rod cannot even carry the building.
Condemned the developer's negligence, stating that construction was carried out without government approval and with substandard materials.
It's really embarrassing, but we will try to see that we stop these developers who have been cutting corners to be building without having a building approvals.
All Progressives Congress in Delta State has welcomed the recent arrest of former Governor Ifeanyi Okowa, describing it as a step in the right direction in the fight against corruption in the country. A statement issued shortly after the news broke says Okowa's arrest signals a strong commitment by the current administration to address long-standing issues of financial mismanagement and corruption at both the state and national levels. This is coming after Okowa, who served as the governor of Delta State from 2015 to 2023, was apprehended by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, over allegations of embezzlement and misappropriation of public funds during his tenure, and the charges reportedly related to the series of financial dealings involving state funds and other questionable contracts awarded during his administration. A statement signed by the State Publicity Secretary of the party, Valentine Esquire, to newsmen in the state capital Asaba Delta APC commended the federal government for its decisive action and urged the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to continue its thorough investigation into the financial activities of other past state governors and public officials, adding that the diversion of Amongo State funds for personal enrichment, establishing a bank and financing doomed presidential ambition, as well as the manipulative imposition of his puppet Godson as governor against the wishes of people, Delta State was questionable. The APC also said the arrest serves as a warning to all public office holders, stressing that the era of impunity is over. Outgoing Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki says the investment of the state's creative art and culture sector over the last 8 years has transformed the state into a center of excellence, repositioning the state as Africa's arts, culture and tourism hub. The governor, who disclosed this when he led the former governor of Imo State, Emeka Ihedioha, and former governor of Cross River State, Donald Duke, and other dignitaries and stakeholders to the official unveiling and preview of the Museum of West African Arts Institution and Campus in Benin City. Obaseki, while addressing diplomatic community representatives of international museums and other stakeholders in the unveiling and preview of the MOA campus, said the project as part of the state's cultural direct district holds immense employment and investment potential for the state and would be a key driver of tourism and economic growth. Speaking on criticism that trailed the project, Obaseki said he did not pull down a hospital for a museum, but rather built a museum and a better hospital. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki has ordered members of the state security network to resume their regular duties. The State Commissioner for Communication Orientation, Chris Nehikare, who disclosed this in a statement, said the order came in the wake of deteriorating security situation in the state. Nehikare also said the order was taken after the State Security Council meeting on Monday, where the council undertook a review of the recent rise in homicides and other security incidents in the state, arguing that the current state of insecurity in the state would not be tolerated, and the Edo State Commissioner of Police have been mandated to ensure the restoration of order and sanity in the state. This is coming after the Inspector General of Police, Kaide Betokung, had during the September 21, 2024 governorship election in the state, banned the state-owned security outfits and others created by the state government. Angry villagers have demolished the family house of a murder suspect, Mr. Stephen Irobunda, in Abia State. The house was pulled down on Tuesday by youths of the community in revenge for the death of their maternal son, Bright Odizuru, who was shot dead by Mr. Irobunda. The suspect, who is about 70 years, shot dead Mr. Bright Odizuru, whom he accused of playing football in front of his house on Saturday, and is presently detained by the police at State Criminal Investigation Department. The killing of the youth, whose maternal home is Ohokobe, created tension in the neighborhood on Saturday, and the Abia State Police Command said the matter has been investigated at SCID Umaya. Medical and Dental Consultants Association of Nigeria at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Teaching Hospital, Oka, Anambra State, have commended President Bola Tinubu, the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, and the Permanent Secretary of Education, Mrs. Rakia Iyasu, for their intervention in the university's Vice Chancellor selection process. A statement signed by its chairman, Dr. Victor Modekwe, on Tuesday, the association described the intervention as a testament to the administration's responsiveness and a significant step towards restoring confidence amongst academic community stakeholders. The memo signed by Iyasu described the appointment as a gross disregard for constitutional authority and contrary to existing provisions, and also annulled the recent appointment of a new registrar at the institution. Meanwhile, Medical and Dental Consultants Association of Nigeria has criticized the action and conduct of the university's registrar, Barrister Rosemary Nwokike, particularly her recent correspondence with the Ministry of Education. The association reiterated its commitment to working with the government and relevant authorities to ensure the continued development and integrity of educational institutions. People's Democratic Party in Oyo State has described the attack on Governor Seyi Makinde of the All Progressives Congress as an indication that the ruling party is scared of Nigerians ahead of 2027 election. Makinde, elected on the platform of the PDP, recently stated that 2027 election would be a contest between the APC and hungry Nigerians, many of whom are struggling to take out a living owing to the hardship inflicted on them by ruling party. Not happy of the statement, the ABC, through its National Publicity Secretary Felix Moka, came hard on the PDP chieftain, linking his attack on President Bola Tinubu to his rumored 2027 presidential ambition. Reacting to Moka's attack on Makinde, the acting state publicity secretary Michael Ogunsino said Makinde's remark only about the situation of the country mirrors nothing but the truth, and asked the APC and its leaders to be humble and remorseful, and even begged Nigerians for forgiveness. The PDP strongly condemned the APC's attack on Makinde for speaking out for the Nigerian masses who had been subjected to untold hardship by the APC administration, and described the attack as a reckless, insensitive and reprehensible, a display of arrogance and failure through its lies, subterfuge, falsehoods, suppressive policies and crass incompetence in governance. Independent National Electoral Commission has restated its readiness to conduct free and fair governorship election on Ondo State on November 16. The chairman of the commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, disclosed this during his readiness assessment visit to INEC local government area in Ondo State on Tuesday. Yakubu, who physically visited some of the commissioner's office or local government area offices, said all the non-sensitive areas were already at the local government offices. According to INEC boss, the bimodal voter accreditation system (BVAS) machine had been charged and configured, adding that they would be deployed along with the sensitive materials to the local government areas. He therefore promised no continued improving on the commission's activities and said that the live jackets would be deployed to all officials going to riverine areas in the state. In a bid to reduce emission and promote sustainable, eco-friendly environment, the Ogun State government has engaged relevant stakeholders towards ensuring a seamless conversion of premium motor spirit vehicles to compressed natural gas powered. Commissioner for Environment Ola Oresoya said the program would engage staffers on quality and safety inspections of CNG powered vehicles and fueling stations by relevant authorities. He disclosed that during a 3-day workshop on application of Nigerian industry standard organized by the ministry in conjunction with the Standard Organization Nigeria in Abeokuta, argued that achieving a safe environment for CNG usage, synergy with other relevant ministries, departments, and agencies, including Ministry of Transportation, Fire Service, and those in charge of registration of the gas stations, amongst others, must be adopted. He said a safety desk had been set up to regulate and ensure safe manufacture, distribution, and handling of all gases in the state, as well as the division of gas handlers into commercial and industry sectors, and urged all stakeholders involved in the exercise to adhere to standards and prioritize safety such that both regulatory requirements and protection of the health and welfare of the communities were maintained. On his part, Commissioner for Transportation, Mr. Benga Dario, said the present administration in the state was committed to supporting the laudable initiative due to the economic disadvantage and reduction of emission, adding that the adequate enforcement and regulations will be adhered to for safer environment. Ekiti State Chief Judge Justice Oyewole Adeyeye has passed away after a brief illness. The sad news was confirmed on Tuesday by the Chief Registrar of the Ekiti State Judiciary, Olanike Adegoke. A statement released by Judiciary's Public Relations Officer Michael Adegoke paid tribute to the late Chief Judge, describing him as a respected jurist who dedicated his time to upholding principles of fairness, equity, and justice. The statement said the contribution to the late Chief Judge of the Judiciary and Ekiti State as a whole are immeasurable, and his legacy will be deeply missed. The Chief Judge was also born in 1960 in Arome, Ubesi, Ekiti local government area, was called on Nigerian bar in 1986, was appointed Chief Judge of Ekiti State in October 2021, a role in which he served with distinction until he passed. Operatives of Nasarawa State Police Command have arrested at least 5 suspected kidnappers and rescued 14 victims. A statement by the command spokesperson, Rahman Nassel, the operation was carried out by officers from the Toto Division in collaboration with community youth and took place when the others or officers stormed a heavily forested area bordering the FCT and Kogi states, with 5 arrested suspects were identified as Shuaibu Garba, Omar Mohammed, Yakubu Kasim, Mustafa Adamu and Abdul Mohammed. FCT Minister Yesambike says the administration will provide quality infrastructure and other social amenities while serving as FCT Minister. The Minister of FCT Yesambike disclosed this on 5th November 2024 during an inspection of ongoing 6-lane construction project at Apo-Osek 2 to Wasa, Lokoma and other adjoining roads in Abuja.
It's still what we have said about the hope agenda to open up all areas of Abuja. Just to test where we are and look at the joy of the people that we have come to attend to this particular area. And that's what we are seeing every day. All looks like clearly everybody wants their own area to be touched. We came up from the Osaks too. Now you see what CGT is doing on the dual carriage, 2-lane. Now we want to expand because that alone will not reduce the traffic as we want it. So there's a need that we have to do another 6-lane to take it down to Wasa as they are doing. In that case, we'll be able to have reduced into Lokoboma. Then in that case, we'll be able to reduce the traffic up to 1935.
That's a desire of President Bola Tinubu to touch lives in the satellite towns of FCT by providing infrastructure for them, and also express satisfaction of the work contractor for the quality work done so far.
Like I've said, it is the directive from Mr. President to see that all areas, not only the city but also in the satellite towns, are all opened up with road infrastructure. You will not believe it now that all the roads we are doing in satellite towns are going to be provided with solar light, which has not happened. So it's wonderful. We're happy with what we're seeing, and we're happy with what the contractors are doing. Indeed, the New Hope agenda is a reality, is working. People can see with their eyes. It's not that you are told. Very much confident. Of course, you remember that they did the powerhouse area, went to Asokoro with what they have done there, and what we saw now. Look at the level of the stone base, and when you know that they also put 2 layers of asphalt binding and wearing the cost of. We are very comfortable with them.
Niger State says 2 suspected tricycle robbers arrested in Minna Metropolis are presently cooling their heels in the custody of police for robbing a victim of his mobile phone. The State Police Public Relations Officer SP Wasiu Abiodun in Minna said the suspects were picked by the officers of Kungu Police Division with credible intelligence report, adding that the victim boarded a tricycle from Gidankwano area to Dama and met passengers while on their way close to Dama. The 2 passengers conspired, attacked and robbed him of his phone and escaped into the nearby bush. He also said during interrogation the suspects confessed to the crime and other similar robberies. Inter-Party Advisory Council in Zamfara State says 11 out of the 18 registered political parties in the state will participate in the November 16 local government election in the state. The state IPAC chairman Abdullahi Isa Moriki, who disclosed this at a press briefing in Gusau on Tuesday, said All Progressives Congress, which is the major opposition party in the state, had dragged the Zamfara State Independent Electoral Commission to the Federal High Court Gusau over alleged irregularities in the election process. Moriki, who is also the state chairman, National Rescue Mission or Movement, said 11 out of 18 are political parties under the umbrella of IPAC who have concluded plans to participate in the elections, adding that the commission had fulfilled all the requirements of the law to conduct the local government election. According to him, the political parties include the New Nigeria People's Party, Zenith Party, Social Democratic Party, National Rescue Party, Movement, Young Progressives Party, Alliance People's Movement, and All Progressives or All People Party. Other political parties, he said, are African Action Congress, Law Party, People's Redemption and Party, and Youth Party. Nigerian Air Force has killed the high-ranking Islamic State West Africa Province Commander Bashir Dauda in Mate local government area of Borno State. The airstrike by NAF also led to the death of 50 fighters while destroying a swap supply depot in the Gubularam enclave, which were filled with substantial food and essential items. A statement by NAF spokesman Air Commodore Olushola Akimbo Yewa on Tuesday said NAF conducted a series of air interdictions targeting 3 significant enclaves of Islamic State, West Africa Province, terrorists in Mate local government area October 31. You're watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We'll be right back after this break. Please stay with us.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Welcome back. This is Global News on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has decorated the acting chief of army staff, Olufemi Oluyede, as Lieutenant General. The short ceremony took place in the President's office complex at the State House, Abuja. This is coming after President Bola Tinubu had appointed Oluyede as the acting chief of army staff led Wednesday. Even after his predecessor, Tariq Labaja, had remained indisposed for weeks. Vice President Kashim Shettima says his principal, President Bola Tinubu, has ordered the release of the minors facing trial for treason on compassionate grounds. The VP said there was inconvertible digital video and photographic evidence of preparation and actions of some of the protesters which were uploaded by the actors themselves, and lamented that the nation lost over 300 billion naira from the deductions and haltings of economic activities orchestrated by the proposers. The VP said this on Tuesday while recovering the minors at the presidential villa shortly after their charges were dropped by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi. This is coming after the release 114 end bad governance protests concerning minors and adults who were earlier arraigned by the Nigeria Police Force and discharged by the Federal High Court, sitting in Abuja Budget and Plan and Economic Development and other concerned ministers, departments and MDAs to appear before it. Chairman of the House Committee on Renewable Energy Committee, Honorable Afam Ogene, gave the reading in Abuja on Wednesday following the absence of the ministers and other heads of agencies at the commencement of a two-day investigative hearing of government. Investments and grants received for renewable energy deployment from 2015 to date. Honorable Ogene said the committee finds it very distasteful, but that the sectors of renewable energy were all absent. They vowed that the House he will get to the root of the investigation.
We are not after any individual or particular agencies, but they must come to answer to the Parliament. If there have been lackadaisical in handling other committees, this is a different committee. We will take it a little easy because today is the first people that we have invited over time. This process started since June, and there is no organization so summoned that have not received, in the minimum, 3 letters from this committee.
Earlier, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, while declaring the hearing open, said the exercise was not to witch hunt, but to identify the challenges and propose solutions.
I commend the committee for its commitment to overseeing the sector and ensuring that the investment made serve the public interest. Since 2015, Nigeria has attracted billions of dollars in grants and investment into renewable energy. These funds were intended to revolutionize our energy infrastructure, reduce our dependency on fossil fuel, and untimely address our pressing electricity challenges. However, despite these considerable investment, access to stable and reliable electricity remain a struggle for many or all Nigerians. Our goal is to better understand how the Parliament can support the renewable energy sector in a way that drives real, measurable change.
This is coming after on 6th of June 2024, the House resolved to probe investment and grant received for renewable energy development since 2015 following a motion raised by Honorable Jesse Onakalusi. Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kekerekun says the development of technology in telecommunications plays a pivotal role in the advancement and enhancement of the economic system of any country and invariably stands as a driving force towards globalization. Kekerekun, who disclosed this at the opening ceremony of the 2024 National Workshop for Justice and Judges or Legal Issues in Telecommunications organized by the Nigerian Communications Commission in collaboration with the National Judicial Institution in Abuja and Lagos today. She said the engagement, such as the movement mentioned, has contributed to the expansion of knowledge that is based of judicial officers with regards to the emerging of issues in the telecommunications sector over the years, and she believes the theme for this year's workshop, the role of judiciaries at accelerating digital transforms in Nigeria, could not have come at a better time. She stressed on the increased right time of the personal data of consumers being misused or compromised by unscrupulous persons, thus necessitating the need for improved strategies, the innovation for customer protection in the telecommunications sector, and also obsessed with deficiencies in the banking sector are attributed to this. CJN said the major challenges posed to electronically backed transaction, which is commonplace in the banking sector, and commended the NCC for its assiduous efforts at protecting customers from unfair practices by service providers, while assuring the Nigerian judiciary is committed to the development of the telecommunications sector and will continue to ensure adherence in the interpretation of the relevant laws, as well as transparency and efficiency in the dispensation of justice. Abuja High Court has adjourned until November 11 hearing of a motion filed by a former Governor of Taraba, Darius Ishaku, and challenging jurisdiction to hear the alleged 27 billion naira fraud accumulated against him. It is coming after the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) arraigned Ishaku for asked the former Permanent Secretary of Bureau for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Bello Yellow, on the 15-count charge. The presiding judge, Silvanus Origi, adjourned the matter until both counsel to the defendants told the court what they had filed preliminary objects before the court. Justice Origi adjourned until November 13 for the hearing of 2 million, while after the resumed hearing of the matter on Tuesday, the prosecution counsel, Rotimi Jacobs, told the court that the matter was slated for trial, adding that he was served with preliminary objections by both counsel for the defendants. Responding, the first defense counsel, Paul Harris Obole, told the court that he served the motion on prosecution of Monday. Federal High Court in Abuja struck out the charges brought against it, a total of 119 end-bad governance protests. All 119 protesters were arraigned on Friday, October 1 on charges bordering on treason, felony, inciting of mutiny, amongst others, and were arraigned in 2 batches at the previous proceeding. The first batch comprised a total of 76 protesters, which includes 32 minors, and the second batch is a total of 43 protesters. The trial judge, Justice Obiora Ogwatu, struck out the suit following an application by the counsel to the defendant general of the Federation, MD Abubakar, take over and discomforts the matter. New Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, has abolished the 18-year admission benchmark for tertiary institutions in the country. He also hinted at the possibility of reviewing the nation's education policy, adding that there would be no reversal of the federal government's decision to void over 22,700 degree certificates obtained by Nigerians from some fake universities in neighboring Togo and Benin Republic. Alongside disclosed this at his inaugural ministerial press conference in Abuja, also said practical education will help to address the issues of unemployment situation in Nigeria, and tertiary institutions will not continue to churn out graduates every year. That provides law. That he assured that the federal government will collaborate with private sector operators to train students and unleash their potential, while universities of agriculture will not be empowered to adopt commercial travel practices and to combat food insecurity. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission arrested a former governor of Delta State, Ifeanyi Okowa, over the alleged diversion of 1.3 trillion naira derivation fund. The 1.3 trillion naira was amounted to a 13% derivation fund from Federation account between 2015 and 2023, and Okowa was at the EFCC office in Port Harcourt, River State, to answer the allegations before he was subsequently arrested by officials of the commission. When contacted, the EFCC spokesperson Dele Oyewale confirmed his arrest but declined further comments on the matter. Northern Senators Forum has condemned or commended President Bola Tinubu for showing leadership in ordering the release of the minors arrested and detained during the End Bad Governance protests. The chairman of the forum, Senator Abdulaziz Yaradua, who indicated this in a statement released in Abuja, said the president's decision was a demonstration of his commitment to protecting the rights and well-being of Nigerian youth. The forum appreciated the president's show of leadership in addressing the critical issue and also acknowledged the efforts of leaders in the North who have worked assiduously to ensure or secure the release of the minors. Congress of University Academia has demanded the And now in business, national power grid appeared to have collapsed again on Tuesday. Earlier, power generation peaked at 3,934.77 megawatts around 6 o'clock in the morning. The Transmission Company of Nigeria confirms that the national grid experienced a partial disturbance, while the TCN spokesman Ndidi Mba said series of line and generator caused instability in the grid and consequently the partial disturbance of the system. She said data from National Control Center reveals that a part of the grid was not affected by the bulk power disruption. Honorable Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Chief Uche Nnaji, says Nigeria requires accurate, reliable and timely energy data to drive and track the energy transition process. He disclosed this in a statement at the official launch of the computerized National Energy Information System held at the ECOWAS headquarters, Abuja, that the Energy Commission of Nigeria is cognizant of the need to improve energy data collection method by setting up systems which respond to the country's data needs to include all sectors of the economy to improve energy data quality and coverage. He said the computerized National Energy Information System was conceived to dematerialize data collection, reduce data entry error and processing time, improve the speed of data dissemination and improve data quality, while the occasion intended to usher in an innovative approach to the collection, collation, harmonization, validation, dissemination of energy data. Earlier in his welcome address, the Director General and CEO Energy Commission of Nigeria, Dr. Abdullahi Mustafa, said the Commission is charged with responsibility for strategic planning and coordination of national policies in the field of energy in all its ramifications. He also said the collated data will serve as input into the development, operation and maintenance of the National Energy Information System, which will be assessed by researchers, development partners, individuals and organizations to plan, make informed decisions and take effective actions in the management of energy supply, use and costs. Standards Organization Nigeria has called for collaboration with professionals in the public and private sectors to ensure sustainable building and construction practices in the country. Director General of SON, Dr. Ifeanyi Okeke, who disclosed this while introducing the forthcoming national conference on the building sector, scheduled for November 12th at the NAF Conference Center in Abuja, said the conference, which has adherence to standard practices, bedrock of sustainable development in the building sector, as theme aims to bring together key stakeholders to reposition the building sector for safety, growth and sustainability. A statement signed by Director of Public Relations Department, SON, Mrs. Foluso Bolaji, says the theme was apt to support the nation's economic growth and stress the importance of active participation from professionals and stakeholders, as their expertise and insights are crucial in addressing the challenges and recurrent issues in the building sector. He also said effective collaboration among stakeholders and operators in the building sector will encourage increased investments for economic growth, adding that it aligns with President Bola Tinubu's Bring It Up agenda, which focuses on providing affordable, quality and safe housing for all, stimulating economic growth and creating job opportunities in the housing sector. He said listed the objectives to introduce a position in the building sector for safety, growth in Melekari. The protesters carrying placards with different inscriptions such as "We demand the immediate resignation of Kyari," amongst others. Said the leadership of the NNPCL boss had failed and led by some civil society organizations described Kyari's leadership as incompetent, citing skyrocketing fuel price, endless fuel queues and economic hardship in Nigeria. The protesters, numbered with aggrieved youths led by Abdullahi Bilal of the 2 million man march against oil scam cabal, the barrister Napoleon Otache and Olayemi Isaac from Citizens and Economic Freedom Rights activists in Nigeria, demanded immediate action to address what they described as failed leadership in managing the country's oil sector. Central to the protests were grievances over skyrocketing fuel prices and never-ending queues, which they argued had driven inflation and plunged millions of Nigerians into poverty, and also decried the importation of adulterated fuel, which they say is a corrupt practice that harms citizens by damaging vehicles and businesses. They demanded an immediate halt to these imports and accountability for those responsible, questioning how substandard fuel continues to enter the country despite quality control assurances, and also criticized the unfulfilled promise of Dangote refinery to resolve Nigeria's fuel crisis, expressing frustration over the billions of dollars spent in one refinery development and refurbishing existing facilities. Average price of imported high-quality rice sold loose has surged by 114.77% year-on-year as the federal government is placed in implementing its duty-free food policy. According to selected food prices report, the National Bureau of Statistics in July 2024, the federal government declared a 150-day duty-free import window for food commodities as it steps up efforts to tackle rising inflation, which has impoverished many Nigerians. The commodities include maize, husk, brown rice, wheat, and cowpeas. Under this arrangement, imported food commodities will be subjected to recommended retail price, adding that although there are claims that report that the policy had started, the government has not officially made the public as efforts to get it confirmed have remained unsuccessful. Medium grain rice also recorded a 3.83% increase from July, and rising trend extended to floor with the government's bureaucratic process and failure of the Federal Ministry of Finance to publish a list of importers qualified to participate in the process as required by the guidelines earlier issued by the Customs in August were cited as reasons for the delay of the commencement of the scheme. NBS inflation data further showed a sharp rise in both food inflation and imported food inflation in September 2024. Federal government has opened its portal for applications for the Presidential Grant and Loan Scheme for micro, small and medium enterprises, and prospective beneficiaries have been urged to apply in time, with the application shall be treated on first-come, first basis. The Akwa Ibom State Manager of the Bank of Industry, Tolulope Toluwase, who gave the charge in his remarks during the formal launch of the scheme on Tuesday in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, said the federal government had already embarked on 75 billion Naira loan to be assessed by the prospective beneficiaries across the states, including the FCT. Toluwase said any applicant who comes out successfully and met all the requirements shall be the one given the 1 million Naira loan to boost their business operations, adding that the repayment plan shall span for 3 years and shall be made on a month basis with an interest rate of a single period. In his remark, Commissioner of Trade and Investment in Akwa Ibom, John James, said the importance of MSMEs is every economy cannot be overemphasized, describing it as the backbone and highest employer of labor in Nigeria, while thanking the federal government for the upcoming intervention to MSMEs. The commissioner advised the prospective beneficiaries to ensure they channel the money to appropriate the business and not divert it to their other things. And now on international tidbits, Vice President of Equatorial Guinea, Teddy Ugueme, has declared plans to install surveillance cameras in all state body offices, adding that the sweeping measures is part of an ongoing effort to ensure strict adherence to public service laws and combat misconduct amongst officials. The country's Director General, National Financial Investigation Agency in Equatorial Guinea, Baltasar Ngonga, was arrested for allegedly recording over 400 sex tapes of the wives of notable people in the country, while the scandal emerged in the course of a fraud investigation against the 54-year-old economist, which resulted in the search of his house and office on impromptu notice by ANIF officials, who came across several CDs that later revealed his sex escapades with different women. The CCTV initiative, unveiled in an X-post on Tuesday, according to him, underscored the administration's commitment to transparency and accountability, and the new surveillance police policy aims to deter acts that could undermine public trust and the ethnic standards expected of public servants. The timeline for the complete rollout and exact scope of surveillance had yet to be detailed, and the government had assured that the initiative aligns with existing local framework aimed to strengthening governance and strengthening public resources. The VP also said the installation of surveillance system in state offices signals a resolute stand against corruption and misconduct, marking a pivotal step in fostering an atmosphere of transparency and trust within its public system of service. Earlier, the VP on Monday declared that the government will immediately suspend any official involved in sexual relations with ministry officers as it violates the Code of Conduct and public ethnic laws, adding that the decision action reinforced a zero-tolerance policy behavior that undermines public service integrity. Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto will visit China and meet its leader Xi Jinping the week. Both nations will speak on the first foreign tour to seek more prominent position for Jakarta and the world stage. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Hua Qiong said in a statement that 73-year-old ex-general state visit will take place on Friday. Saturday visit would aim to push China to a new level. China is ready to work with Indonesia to take the visit as an opportunity to consolidate high-level political mutual trust. The Foreign Ministry's Ma Ning said Xi will hold a welcoming ceremony for the Indonesian leader and the two will hold talks. This is coming after Indonesia and Russia kicked off their first joint naval drills on Monday. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump has once again raised false expectations regarding the vote count from the upcoming elections, insisting on a result on electoral night. In the days leading up to the election, Trump had already fueled concerns with unverified claims of electoral fraud, and he is facing off against Democrat Kamala Harris, and the race is expected to be tight. It is uncertain that the election results will be finalized after voting ends, especially due to delays caused by postal votes in certain states, and it is coming after 2020 presidential election, where Trump prematurely announced himself the winner on election night and called for a halt to the vote count while he was temporarily leading against Joe Biden. Polish prosecutors say a series of parcel fires targeting courier companies in Poland, Germany and the UK were dry runs aimed at sabotaging flights at the Canada to US. Katarzyna Carlo revealed late last month that 4 people had been arrested and authorized authorities across Europe were investigating a scenario. Russian security officers have told U.S. media that they believe the fire was orchestrated campaign by Russia's military intelligence agency, the GRU. Russia denies being behind acts of sabotage, but it is suspected to have been behind other acts of warehouses and railway network in EU member states this year, according to Sweden and the Czech Republic. Ms. Kalau Zazekwa said in a statement that the group of foreign intelligence saboteurs had been involved in sending parcels containing hidden explosives and general materials via courier companies. The incident at Jablono near Warsaw took 2 hours to extinguish, the UK officials giving few days about the Minworth fire on 22 July. Engineered Russian tank manufacturer has been sentenced to 16 years in prison for allegedly a high treason after being found guilty of giving military information to Ukraine. The regional court in Vetlog said Daniel, 32, was working as an engineer. Tagil in Russian arose with Russia's FSB. Security services detained him and his wife 2023 and is one of the largest tank manufacturers in the world. The court said he and his wife, who also worked there, were accused of giving Ukrainian special services military and technical information, and partially admitted his guilt and was sentenced to 16 years in prison. His wife, Victoria Mohametova, was sentenced in early October 2020. Was sentenced to 16 years in prison. His wife Victoria was sentenced in early October to 12.5 years in prison on the same charges, and the case is the latest Ukraine espionage case that Russia has opened since it sent troops to Ukraine in February 2022. TikTok is being sued by 7 families in France who accuse the social media giant of exposing their children to harmful content, leading to their own lives, to take their own lives. Laura Bertin-Mamoyne, a lawyer for the family, said the case alleges the video platform's algorithm exposed them to content promoting self-harm, eating disorders and suicide. She told French media that the lawsuit was the first of its kind in Europe, and TikTok, which is one of the world's most popular social media platform, said it had not received any notification of legal proceedings relating to the claims. The company added a series of statement that its community guidelines do not allow for the showing, promoting, or sharing plans for suicide or self-harm, and that is It uses a combination of technology and moderation to ensure these standards are upheld. The group lawsuit, which had been filed in the Settled Judicial Court, is separate to a criminal complaint filed against TikTok last year by the parent of Marie, as well as one of the two teenagers who killed herself. Now in sports, Super Falcons of Nigeria will take on France in a high-profile friendly on Saturday, November 30 and 24. The friendly will take place at the Stade Raymond Kopa in the City of Angels, Angers, and the encounter will kick off at 9:30 p.m. France time. It is only the 7th time in their history that the Les Blues will play in the City of Angers. This is coming after the Super Falcons played 2 friendlies against Algeria last month. Justin's Madugu's side lashed the Green Ladies 22-0 and 4-1 in games played in Ikena, Remo and Lagos respectively. Victor Osimhen is the only African player to make Sportspro's top 50 most marketable athletes list in 2024, being ranked 44th ahead of Manchester City's Erling Haaland. The US website also 3 metrics: brand strength, total addressable market, and economics to determine the ranking, with Osimhen scoring higher than the Norwegian striker, who sits in 45th position. The Nigerian international recorded 24.18 in brand strength, 26.94 in total addressable market, 13 in economics and aggregation marketing score, 64% respectively, a total of 64.02. African gymnastics Simone Biles topped the Real Madrid's Vinicius Junior, emerging the highest ranked footballer in second place with 91.52. End-time Ballon winner Lionel Messi completes with the top 5 with 89.67 points. Other footballers ranked include PSG's Neymar, Real Madrid midfielder Jude Bellingham, Manchester United forward Marcus Rashford, and Barcelona teenager Lamine Yamal. Portuguese icon Cristiano Ronaldo is notably absent from the rankings. Osimhen's high rating comes despite his market value dropping to €35 million in 2024. Napoli cutting his release 113 million. From the club of the summer, and 25-year-old is currently enjoying a purple patch in Turkish giants Galatasaray, where he is on the season-long loan. Atlanta winger Ademola Lookman had been named the Serie A team on the week. Lookman was the hero of the Atlanta's 3-0 victory over league leaders Napoli, and the 27-year-old scored twice at the Estadio Diego Armando Maradona. The Nigerian, who has scored 6 goals and registered 4 assists in 8 league appearances for Lade this season, while 3 of his Atlanta teammates, Charles de Ketelare, Elson and Isaac, has made the selection. Al Hilal forward Neymar has given an update about his injury. The 32-year-old pulled up with an upper muscle injury 30 minutes after coming off the pitch in the second half of his Al Hilal AFC Champions League against. On Monday, the Brazilian international limped off the field and had to be replaced. The former Barcelona star was making just his second appearance of the season for Al Hilal when he sustained the injury. Neymar recently returned from injury after a year with an anterior cruciate ligament injury. And now on entertainment news. Nigerian beauty queen Chidinma Adesina has been ranked second in the world's Miss Universe pre-arrival hot picks. This was revealed in a viral pre-arrival poll on Tuesday that the 23-year-old was ranked ahead of 73rd edition of the Global Miss Universe pageant on November 16, 2024. This is coming after Chidinma arrived in Mexico in October 2024 to complete the crown. Nigerian singer Tiwa Savage says she used to be bullied as a high school student and has put that behind her because she's now rich and famous. Savage sent a love message to her bullies and said to the girls that used to bully me, I love you. She also said she is popular and rich now. American rapper Cardi B says she can't contain her feelings ahead of the presidential election. The Grammy-winning star shared that she has been nervous and feels like she's running for the presidency. This is coming after Cardi B spoke at Harris' rally in Wisconsin, where she formally endorsed the place as Democratic Party's candidate for the presidential election. And during the rally, Cardi B claimed that the Republican Party's candidate and Harris' main character, Donald Trump, was promoting anti-women agendas. The rapper also later debunked rumors that she was paid to endorse Kamala Harris via her X handle, while Cardi denied receiving any monetary reward for her outing at Harris' rally. And that's the most we can take on this Global News for tonight. But before we go, another look at the major stories. Residents rescue 12-year-old from trafficker. Obaseki orders resumption of security network. Tinubu release minors on compassionate grounds. Shatima. National grid collapses again. Equatorial Guinea to install cameras in offices. Super Falcons plans to tackle fans. Additional ranks second world's Miss Universe. I am Enidoyo Jackson. Thank you for watching, and remember to stay connected with us on all of our ITN socials, Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok at Atlantic TV Network 1, X at Atlantic TV Net. Watch live on our website at www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Have a very good evening.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Everything you do me, I like. My best friend, the love of my life. I know if day without. I be you want make it bad, you someone to hold on to. Girl, you no fear I did for you. I go run the matter for me and you. Make I be the reason believing true love. Why I call you Ngozi? God don't bless me Ngozi. No deserve this kind loving. The loving way you show me. Private lounging on Paris with expensive room service. No one make me do like this. Girl, I got you, no worries, no worries. You did do